Animals take many shapes and forms and come in a great diversity of sizes, from microscopic to something as huge as a bus. Whether you measure in terms of weight, height, or length, there's no denying some animals are huge, dwarfing others of the same species. Don't believe us? Make sure to stick around till the end of the video. And if you're new to the channel, thumbs up to show your support, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for future updates. Number 1. The giant African snail. Escargot? More like escargot. Found in Africa, this ferocious mollusk sometimes measures over 8 inches in length, is very adaptable as it eats all sorts of vegetation, including fruit and grass. Plus, they create a lot of offspring. This is one reason why it is considered to be one of the most invasive species in the world. Though they originate from Africa, they have found homes all over the world, including areas such as Barbados and Florida, and you'd better believe they are considered pests. However, they are also routinely confiscated on airports in the US because they are sometimes kept as pets, which is not very wise, as they can spread dangerous bacteria that could cause serious diseases. Number 2. Chinese giant salamander. The Chinese giant salamander is indeed a sight to see. Considered a living fossil, these river monsters are the largest amphibians in the world, and it sometimes reaches 1.80 meters and can weigh up to 50 kilograms or 100+ pounds. They're endemic to Rocky Mountain streams and lakes in the Yangtze River basin of central China. However, unlike the above-mentioned snails, the Chinese giant salamander isn't really that adaptable, since the species is critically endangered due to habitat loss, pollution, and overcollection, as it is considered a delicacy and used in traditional Chinese medicine. Yum! Number 3. Giant freshwater stingray. Not all stingrays live in the ocean, in fact. The biggest ones don't. At half the length of a bus, the giant freshwater stingray is an ancient fish that can reach 16.5 feet long, including the tail. There have been reports that these stingrays can weigh 500 to 600 kilograms, or 1,100 to 1,300 pounds. Though such accounts were not verified because weighing the enormous and awkward animal is very difficult. It's very elusive, and very little is known about this mysterious fish despite the size. However, just like the salamander, their numbers are dwindling. This species is threatened by overfishing and habitat loss. The World Conservation Union has assessed the giant freshwater stingray as endangered in some areas and critically endangered in other parts. Number 4. Giant weta cricket. The giant weta is one of the biggest insects on Earth, easily dwarfing most bugs and even small rodents. They sometimes measure over 10 centimeters. As the world's heaviest reported insect, it can weigh up to 2.5 ounces. They are found primarily on small islands off the coast of the main islands in New Zealand, and they represent a nice case of island gigantism. In 2011, Smithsonian researcher Mark Moffat stumbled upon a particular large giant weta on a trip to New Zealand's Little Barrier Island. An image of Moffat feeding the huge insect a carrot went viral. A New Zealand insect expert later noted to the New Zealand Herald that feeding the insect carrot is quite common. Number 5. The Nomura jellyfish. The diameter when fully grown is slightly greater than the height of an average man. They could weigh more than 200 kilograms and are endemic to Japanese waters. Nomura jellyfish are amazing creatures, but scientists are worried about the bloom in their population. They're so heavy that in 2009, a 10-ton fishing trawler, the Diasen Shinsumura, capsized as its crew tried to haul in a net with dozens of them. Once ideal conditions develop, either by increasing nutrients or warming of the surface ocean, Nomura's jellyfish populations exploded and render fishing virtually impossible because its nets become filled with jellyfish. These jellyfish can also continue to reduce the number of fish in the ocean by feeding on their eggs. Moreover, there's evidence that jellyfish can tolerate conditions like hypoxia that fish cannot. Jellyfish populations are normally held in check by fish, mostly because these two groups compete for the same food sources. However, overfishing in many parts of the ocean has led to increasing jellyfish populations. Number 6. The Japanese spider crab. There's probably something in the waters in Japan that justifies most of its residents' gigantic growth. Case in point, the Japanese spider crab weighing up to 19 kilograms. The giant crab has long been a Japanese fishing staple and can inflict serious injury with its powerful claws. They have the greatest leg span of any arthropod, reaching 3.8 meters from claw to claw, despite its threatening appearance. The Japanese spider crab usually has a very gentle disposition. These slow-moving crabs don't hunt. preferring to scavenge for dead animals or plant matter, though they may also eat live fish or invertebrates, such as other crustaceans. This species is part of a group known as decorator crabs, which adorn their shells with sponges for camouflage. Japanese spider crabs live on the Pacific side of Japan, as far south as Taiwan, and at chilly depths ranging from 164 feet to as low as 1,640 feet. They spawn at the shallower end of that spectrum and thrive in temperatures of up to 50 degrees. Number 7. Giant fruit bat. While bats live nearly all over the world, only some parts of our planet are blessed with flying foxes. So it's no wonder that a recent photo of a huge fruit bat in the Philippines has gone viral on social media. The golden-crowned flying fox is one of the largest bat species in the world, belonging to the family of megabats that are found in parts of Africa, India, Asia, and Oceania. In the Philippines, nearly all flying foxes are threatened species due to habitat loss and being hunted as a human food source. Despite various cultural associations linking bats with vampires, flying foxes are far from being bloodthirsty beasts of the night. As frugivores, these bats will noisily chatter as they feast on figs and other fruits at dusk, and roost in large treetop clumps during the day. They'd rather drink nectar than sip on blood. In fact, out of more than 1,300 bat species found around the world, only 3 feed on blood. Biologically, it's actually a pretty strange diet, and unlike their microbat brethren, flying foxes don't navigate by echolocation, relying on their sense of sight and smell instead. Number 8. Goliath frog. The aptly named Goliath frogs are the world's largest species that live in African rainforests of Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, specifically in the fast-flowing rivers and streams. They can weigh as much as a newborn baby, tipping the scales at 3.2 kilograms, 7 pounds. The Goliath frog might be huge, but like many of its amphibian cousins, it does its best to conceal itself. Molted green camouflage helps these solitary frogs hide among the moss-covered rocks. Despite their fame as the world's largest frogs, not much is known about them because they are skittish, thus hard to study. And although you might think it would have an impressive croak to match its bulk, you'd be wrong. Unlike most other frogs, the Goliath frog does not possess a vocal sac, so it whistles to attract mates instead. Unfortunately, the species is now endangered due to being overhunted for food, as trophies, and by the pet trade. The biggest bivalve, the giant clam. First of all, what is a bivalve? Bivalves are a class of marine and freshwater mollusks with 2 shells. These include clams, oysters, mussels, and scallops, but the largest of them all is the giant clam. As if you couldn't tell by the name, these massive mollusks can reach lengths of up to 1.2 meters and have been known to weigh more than 220 kilograms. This unique species displays a wide variety of colors, created by a contrast between algae inside the clam and the clam's natural pigment. This vibrancy is an indicator of clam health. If the clam is unhealthy, the dying algae will bleach it to a bright white. Giant clams, when healthy, can live up to 100 years. Number 10. Chan's Megastick. While most insects can fit in the palm of your hand, there are a few giant insects out there that are pretty much the size of your torso. The longest in the world is a stick insect that lives in Borneo. This is the largest, or at least the longest insect in the living world, as it could grow to 22 inches long if you count the legs as well. Its body is still a whopping 14 inches. It's extremely long and slender, making it blend in with its surroundings of sticks, leaves, and vines. It's been named the Chan's Megastick because it was founded by a local villager and handed to Malaysian amateur naturalist Datuk Chan Chu Lun in 1989. The largest specimen discovered is under the care of the Natural History Museum in London. Experts believe Chan's Megastick lives in the forest canopy, making it even more challenging to find. Only a handful of specimens are currently known to science. Do you know any other gigantic creatures that are worthy of our list? Share your thoughts and opinions with us in the comment section below. And if you like the video, thumbs up to show your support, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for future updates. Until next time.